Imagine a world where the rules of global trade are being rewritten. For decades, the US dollar has dominated international transactions, giving America enormous influence. But now, the BRICS nations are challenging this system, aiming to create a more balanced global order. By building their own institutions and payment systems, BRICS is reducing reliance on the dollar and shifting the balance of power. This isn't just about economics, it's about who gets to shape the future. The current system favors the West, especially the US, which can use its banking system to impose sanctions and control money flows. BRICS wants change. They're taking real steps. Media, BRICS Development Bank signing ceremony, delegates at BRICS Summit, launch event for new payment system, launching a development bank, creating new payment systems, and expanding their alliance. These moves are forcing the world to pay attention. As of June 2025, the questions are urgent. Media, 2025 calendar with BRICS logo, business analysts in meeting room, digital countdown clock with BRICS branding. Can BRICS succeed? What challenges will they face? And how will this reshape global trade? We'll explore what BRICS is, how it's growing, and the mechanisms it's using to change the game. We'll look at the benefits, the hurdles, and what this means for the future. Understanding BRICS is key to understanding where the world is heading. This is the story of a world in transition. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, major emerging economies from different continents. The term was coined in 2001, but the group became a real political alliance in 2009. BRICS is about cooperation and amplifying their voice in global institutions like the IMF and World Bank, which are still dominated by the West. These countries want reforms that reflect today's economic realities. With rising tensions between the West and countries like Russia and China, BRICS offers an alternative platform for trade and cooperation. It's a symbol of a shifting global order, one moving from a single superpower to multiple centers of influence. BRICS is attractive to developing nations seeking more independence. Economically, these countries are huge markets with vast resources and growing middle classes. By working together, they can build their own supply chains and reduce reliance on Western markets. They're investing in infrastructure, technology, and energy projects. BRICS is both a political statement and a practical economic strategy. It's about navigating a complex, changing world on their own terms. That's why BRICS matters now more than ever. The original 5 BRICS nations already represented over 40% of the world's population and a quarter of global GDP. But in 2024, BRICS expanded, welcoming Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the UAE. These new members bring strategic assets. Egypt controls the Suez Canal, the UAE is a financial and oil hub, Iran has vast energy reserves, and Ethiopia is a fast-growing African economy. Now, BRICS Plus represents nearly half the world's population and about 36% of global GDP by purchasing power. The bloc also controls a massive share of global oil production, giving it new leverage in energy markets. This expansion isn't just about numbers, it's about uniting the global South. Many developing nations feel excluded from the current power structure. By growing, BRICS positions itself as their champion, offering a platform for a fairer international system. The message: the world is changing, and developing nations want a bigger role. The expanded BRICS is ready to shape the future. Their coalition is more diverse, more powerful, and more influential than ever. The global balance of power is shifting. For over 70 years, the US dollar has been the world's reserve currency, giving America huge advantages. The dollar's dominance lets the US print money, influence global markets, and impose sanctions. De-dollarization is the effort to reduce dependence on the dollar, and BRICS is leading the charge. They've seen how sanctions can cripple economies and want to trade using their own currencies. The strategy isn't to destroy the dollar overnight, but to gradually build alternatives. Bilateral trade in local currencies is growing, like India and Russia, settling oil trades in rupees and rubles. China has made similar deals, using the yuan for international trade. Central banks in BRICS countries are also reducing their dollar reserves and buying more gold, a neutral asset. The goal: a more resilient, balanced financial system, less vulnerable to US political pressure. De-dollarization is complex and slow, but BRICS is committed. Each step, local currency trade, gold reserves, new payment systems, chips away at dollar dominance. This movement is about economic sovereignty and control. The world is watching to see if BRICS can build a true alternative. The stakes are high and the process is underway. The era of dollar supremacy is being challenged. To make local currency trade possible, BRICS is building its own payment system, BRICS Pay. Think of it as an alternative to SWIFT, the Western-controlled network for global bank transfers. BRICS Pay lets members transact directly, bypassing the dollar and Western oversight. This system could make trade cheaper by eliminating costly currency conversions. It also speeds up transactions, no more waiting days for payments to clear. Modern technology like blockchain could make settlements nearly instant. For businesses, this means better cash flow and less uncertainty. Most importantly, BRICS Pay is a practical tool for de-dollarization. It allows countries to trade in their own currencies, shielding them from US sanctions. If cut off from SWIFT, BRICS members can still trade with each other. This reduces US leverage and gives BRICS nations more control. The new system is a powerful economic shield. It's a game changer for global trade. The New Development Bank, or NDB, is BRICS's answer to the World Bank and IMF. Unlike those Western-led institutions, the NDB is based on equal voting rights and rotating leadership. Its mission fund infrastructure and sustainable development in BRICS and other emerging economies. The NDB lends in local currencies, protecting borrowers from dollar volatility. This makes development financing safer and more predictable. The NDB is still smaller than the World Bank, but it's a real alternative. Its existence pressures traditional lenders to reform. The bank has already funded billions in clean energy, transport and water projects. It's a symbol of BRICS's commitment to building their own institutions. The NDB gives developing countries more choices and more control over their futures. It's a new model for global development. BRICS faces big challenges. The group is diverse, different political systems, economies, and interests. Internal disputes like the India-China border conflict make unity difficult. Economic imbalances such as India's trade deficit with China create friction. External pressure from the US is intense. Washington won't give up dollar dominance easily. The US could use tariffs or financial tools to discourage deeper BRICS cooperation. Building a secure, seamless payment system like BRICS Pay is a huge technical challenge. Harmonizing regulations and building trust will take time. The dollar remains the world's most liquid, accepted currency. Businesses may hesitate to switch to a new, unproven system. Overcoming these hurdles requires coordination and long-term commitment. The path to a new global order is anything but smooth, but BRICS is determined to try. Some dream of a single BRICS currency like the euro. It's an appealing idea, a unified bloc with a powerful new currency, but the reality is far more complicated. BRICS economies are too different. China's state control, India's market-driven approach, Brazil's inflation, Russia's oil dependence. Managing a single monetary policy would be nearly impossible. A common currency would mean giving up national control, something BRICS members aren't ready for. The euro's challenges show how hard this is, even for similar countries. For now, BRICS is focused on practical steps, trading in local currencies and building BRICS Pay. A common currency is a distant, aspirational goal, not a near-term reality. The immediate future is about a multi-currency world, not a single BRICS coin. The focus is on what's possible now. BRICS is building a parallel financial system, not to replace the West overnight, but to offer an alternative. This marks a shift from a unipolar world to a multipolar one, with more voices at the table. Developing nations, long sidelined, now have more options and bargaining power. BRICS initiatives like the NDB and local currency trade empower them to chart their own paths. The transition won't be smooth. Expect resistance from established powers and more complex global competition. The world may become more fragmented, with different blocs and rules. Businesses and investors will need to adapt. The key question: can this competition be managed peacefully? The BRICS story is about more than trade. It's about reshaping global power. Success isn't guaranteed, but the direction is clear. BRICS is determined to build a more equitable, multipolar world. Whether they succeed or not, they're already changing the conversation. The future of global trade will be shaped by many voices, not just one.